Hey everybody, Friday night. Look who I got to
Oh,
bring along for the
oh,
night. I was gonna say, look what the cat dragged in, but no. Look who
that's
it's
true
been what?
too.
I think 3 or 4 months because you've been super busy.
I have. Oh,
Super, super busy. And me being so and I'm even surprised Tom agreed to come out with me tonight because I have just
I
been
am
on a
too.
horn for for several weeks now with this beautiful laptop that I'm presenting and recording and coming to you live from because I am just not computer literate. And Tom, I didn't tell you, I went to my local library for the first time
Thank
yesterday.
you.
And I didn't see anything right away, but I did get their little list of events and things that are coming
Good.
up. Not and actually, yeah, and actually, you know what else I found there? And I couldn't believe it. Not only is this man, an actor and a singer, but apparently he's a poet as well. Mulder is a poet.
Oh my God.
So I'm excited to look at this. It's not bad. I started reading some of these and I'm
Really?
like, so and I
Okay.
went up to the girl, take it out. I said, look, Mulder's a poet. And she's like, huh? Oh, this is the face, some of the younger generation, they don't quite, but they're still. So I'm excited to look into that. So again, thanks Tom for joining me. And we have
Yep.
so we have Jax, the mod extraordinaire, putting in all the links. Thank you, my dear. And yes, smack that sassy. And Tom said, oh, it's smacked. So I was gonna say we're approaching the 50 shades mark here, but we promise we won't go overboard. Moira is here. Hello, Moira. And Ben and I had a blast talking about 80s movies and their soundtracks today. So thank you everybody who joined us for that show, even though Tom didn't. But but I'm just picking on him. People know Tom and I have known each other like forever, and so
Cool.
he's
Cool.
like
I'm
the
about to
little
end it.
bro. Huh?
It's gonna end it.
Oh, I'm just gonna.
It's been too long.
So, been too long. Oh, it's been a long time coming. So, there you go. So, yeah, I asked him what we wanted to talk about. He says, I have no idea. Um, but I will mention that tomorrow, because this is kind of, up, our thing that Tom and I both have interest in is that tomorrow, Ginger Faye is going to join me on my channel and we're going to be pulling cards and doing a para oracle look, excuse me, investigation ish. I should say ish, but it's a different form of investigation, paranormal investigation. We're not going to the actual spot with, speaker boxes and things and stuff, but we're going to use cards and we're going to see if we can do a little bit of investigating on the house that Shan grew up in Jacksonville that was haunted. See if it still is. I'm sure probably whether or not it's now a residual or if there's still something there. So, very excited and looking forward to that.
Or if it
Ish.
ever was haunted.
I think they make a cream for that. Oh, yes. And it's got our names written all over it, right? The next one is going to be 90s. So, yep, show up your favorite TV shows from and movies from the 90s
I didn't get invited on the Ben show. I'm just saying.
well, because you're busy working. You're busy being the
Yeah,
king of pentacles.
that is true.
Bosie you gotta look after Bosie and Grimly and
Yep.
Mama Sam. So
Yep.
that was a fun show. Thank you, Irene. Ben and I always have a good time. And after the show, we all said, "Watch, we're going to think of movies." After the show, and we did. And can Heather remember those right now? No, but the songs. But it's a part of our culture, our history, and it'll be exciting because for the X Files, they did have soundtracks. And they had some really cool music for the TV show, songs in the key of X, and for their movie. So yeah, and brought back a lot of memories. So yeah. And so this investigation is going to be very, very interesting. And I know we didn't know what we were going to talk about, but there is a show that you and I have been following that you got me kind of hooked. Shannon and I hooked onto, and they're coming out with a new season
Oh,
in
yeah.
January.
No, I don't.
Um, oh, they don't know yet if
They
they're
have,
going to release it.
they haven't announced yet when.
Oh, so we don't know if it's going to be released even
No,
next year.
I mean it'll be next year, definitely. It's
So it'll be released.
soon. Is yeah.
So this is going to be part three. It's a show. Was a documentary, actually. It's called Hellier. And if you're interested in the spooky and the mysterious, this has to do with gremlins and goblins and underground caves and coinkydinks that people start experiencing after watching the show, which automatically started happening, for me when it comes to balloons. And so it was very interesting. It was something that, made me pause,
Yeah.
So did you want to share a little, because you're connected to, you actually met the
I
husband
mean, I'm not
and wife.
connected at all. I met them. I saw them
Well, you're
live.
part. Well,
Yeah.
well, he's more hooked in than I am. He's part of their Patreon.
Yeah.
He's met them at one of their conferences, and so you do a little bit of correspondence. I believe you said, that they send out the newsletters and the
Yeah.
respondents.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you interested in sharing a little bit about that with?
Yeah.
That
I
was
mean,
one of the things we eventually were going to talk about when we got together.
yeah, it's a really interesting show because it's one of the first.
Hey, Roman.
Trying to think of the best way to talk about it because I don't want to like ruin the experience for people. But it came out. Well, the events happened in like 2017. I think the show came out in like 2019, 2020, if I remember the first season. So it's been a while, but you can. It's on YouTube free. I'll put the link. I'm gonna pull it up now.
He's got, and this time, Jax, he's going to provide for you. So you've always provided the links, and now Tom's going to provide the links. And it takes a little while. I mean, I'm going to have to rewatch them because it does get a little convoluted just because there's so many people and names and locations that get tossed around in this. But, and, it's not like a high production where, it's like Hollywood and go, doom, 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 doom with the music and boom, it can be a little slow because
it's a slow burn. It's a slow burn,
Yeah.
but it's I mean it's a documentary. It's a documentary series, and it goes through. Basically, they get contacted about one event. Basically, they were former ghost hunters, and somebody reached out to them about seeing little creatures in their yard, or basically. And it was in Kentucky, in Hellier, Kentucky, or right around there. And they go out and it just kind of unfolds, like this whole weird story unfolds, and the person doesn't seem to actually really exist necessarily. They're like tracking down who could have sent them the stuff. It's a really interesting story. But what connected with me is that it really resonated with me because they talk about ghosts in a way that I also or supernatural, let's say. I'm not even just saying ghosts, but like supernatural things in similar ways that I do. So which annoys
Yeah,
people
Tom
because
sits on both sides of the fence when it comes to paranormal. Is it or isn't it?
yeah, I mean,
Take a guide.
Like to keep one foot in reality and one foot,
Impossibility. One in reality
exactly.
and one in possibility.
Exactly. But so and then it's just like why I really like them as a group. It's the Newkirks is who they are, and they Greg and Dana Newkirk. They do a lot of the, same type of things. They do the Estes method. They do all this stuff. Yeah, the people who created the Estes method are actually in the show in Hellier with them. One is the director, basically, and cameraman in it. And
Yeah. Hey, Beth.
it's really it's an interesting show because like it gets into so many weird things. Like I don't know. I mean, Heather, like, I mean, what did you think
cover
watching it?
ups cover ups.
Yeah, like,
People, I say, oh, we don't talk about that here, or, oh, I never heard about this. And then later
yeah,
on, well, you guys, you heard about that. And similarities with names like Parson, and with, things that show up in certain keywords in the emails, and
yeah,
certain, things that happen to them on the way, like that look like signs. And it's just, and from what I understand too, when you first mentioned this to me, it sounded very familiar. Now, I also like watching bedtime stories. We haven't watched them in a while, but they will take that, they're based in England, and they will take stories. And it's really cool because they also, if you like with the art, there's a person who does the digital art and draws out all the imagery and drawings for the show that they use while they're talking about whatever story it is or phenomena or whatever. And it's usually has to do with unsolved, bizarre unsolved. It's basically like they talk like X-Files. They talk about
mhm,
cryptids and paranormal and unsolved certain strange mysteries and things. And I remember them mentioning they were like known as the Kentucky goblins or something from like the 50s or something, where
Thompsonsville,
they're
yeah,
on back, huh?
Tompkinsville,
Tompkinsville, yes.
yeah,
So it seems like this is kind of like the same area, and possibly, and these places are all connected with
right,
an
Hopkinsville, not
underground,
Tompkinsville.
tunnel system that is there. You know,
Yes,
it's not, that's something that's factual. And there are
yeah, I
some
think it's the
places where people,
largest underground tunnel system in the U.S.
and it's on like the East Coast from, I think, what, the Appalachians,
Yeah, yeah,
right in there. So already you hear the word Appalachian and you already have so much lore, and,
yeah, and it's like I think the largest deposit of like what is it? Not granite.
oh, that's right. And not,
Oh my
but it's
god.
got quartz in the stone.
Yeah, quartz.
So
Yeah,
quartz, we all know, amplifies,
exactly. So
energy.
it's there's just a lot of weirdness that happens there. But and yeah, the show touches on a lot of it. It's really I really like it. It is a slow burn. It gets into a lot of the things that I like. It talks a lot. You know, there is like a lot of stuff about Crowley in it. So I know that turns
Yep.
people off, but
They talk about
it comes
Crowley.
up. I mean,
And
they
then,
just
yeah, that was one of the coinkydinks. They mentioned Crowley. And then
yeah,
a couple of days later, I go into the Ashland, exchange bookstore for the first time. I turn the corner to go into the metaphysical, and who's looking at me from the very top shelf? I'm like, oh, okay. So, just really odd little, and they do talk about Baphomet. They talk about, no, they talk about Pan.
yeah,
I think they might bring up Baphomet, but I know that they did talk about Pan and explained how he was the true nature of,
yeah, and they
these
get into the
beings.
Green Man and stuff, and yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of stuff. And some of it they've kind of moved away from. Some of it is just they follow it where it goes, and there's some dead ends, and
But Dana's kind of tapped in, and she's got her
yes,
cards too. So she's, it isn't, they're not completely leaving. It's just, I think the term paranormal with all the heavy equipment and all the, a lot of the kind of the,
yeah,
how what is it, the I don't want to say over commercialization, but it's like the overproduction. Like everything has to be, they're very like, okay, can we, how can we um debunk this, is this da 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 da. And they do have moments in those documentaries where they're like, okay, there's something here, you know exactly.
oh
Sometimes
yeah,
they feel
yeah,
like they can put their finger on it. sometimes they can't. And Beth said, I was just talking to my brother about this today. So here we go, another coincidence or coinciding, not specifically, but about just how many cities have tunnel systems
Yeah.
under them for one reason or the other. And Irene had asked, were these tunnel made or are they natural? And I think some of them.
Some of them are mines. Some of them are, um, just natural caves.
And then some of those caves were utilized during Prohibition too,
Of course, yeah.
and slavery, trying to get the slaves to freedom as well. Parts of these tunnels might have been, I'm not saying that they are, but I am assuming that part of the tunnel systems you can get, used for both good and nefarious reasons, like Tom said, mining as well. But it takes you on a roller coaster. And if you go to watch it, I would recommend, for me, next time I'm going to write names down because, and
It's
I'm going
it's
to note
a
because
lot of
sometimes they'll go
information.
back later on and they'll be like, hey, guess who we heard from? And you're like, oh shit, now who's this again? Because there are so many moving
Yeah.
parts.
It's a lot of information, that comes at you. And like I said, some of the information is like you start going down one way and then, they kind of turn from where you're thinking they're going. Um, there's 2 seasons right now. I know I've watched, both of them several times at this point, and, um,
They've also received
uh
accolades too
oh, yeah, yeah.
for these shows, so people know this is a real well done production.
Mhm,
They
yeah.
received awards and accolades from the viewings.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very good high quality, thing. It's the production value is there, it's just not it's all completely funded by themselves, and their museum,
So there's
members,
no
patron.
outside influence
Yeah.
to, hey, come on, beef this up a little bit, or when we add a little bit of this, because it, like we said, it can be a
Yeah.
little dry, it can be slow moving, but it takes a while sometimes to get the things going. But like I said, I recommend writing names because it goes back and forth. And Beth said, "Whoops, that's not Beth." Beth said in San Francisco, Chinatown has
Mhm.
tunnels under it because the cops and citizens of San Francisco would beat up the Chinese. Oh, because they were so, yeah. Same thing up here in Pacific Northwest, the underground tunnels for shipping people out. Yeah, the fantasy of the underground. Yeah. Oh, and
Mhm.
Allison's here. She's like, Tom. Yeah, I finally
Mhm.
got him on here to join me. I was able to pry him away.
From
But
sleep, from my slumber.
for about 4 months or so. But also back in the day when the Chinese immigrated here to build the railroads, yes, and they were mistreated up here too in Oregon as well. There are towns that were or mines, and they weren't properly taken care of by, excuse me, their rich owners, and a lot of people died, and of course you needed scapegoats, and it's unfortunate, but this is part of our history. And Isadora is here. Hello. There's a huge tunnel system in the Netherlands that was used during the war to hide entire cities of people. Wow. So yeah, these are interesting though. There's some areas where people are like, well, we know where there's a cave, and there's a couple of them they went into, and they just knew energetically we're not supposed to go any further, you know. And they're like, okay, I think this is where we can. And they've done it. They did a ritual to bring out the, what is this?
Mhm. There you go.
Dana and Greg, haunted objects. So yes, they have
Yeah.
a touring. Or did you say they discontinued the tour?
For right now, it's they've
Right.
finished it for now.
And
Yeah.
they collect haunted objects like John
Yep.
Safis, did for his TV show. Um, but yeah, it's there. There's parts where they're like, no, we're not going to go any further. They did a ritual to contact, Pan, like the Green Man, and so it's just not overhyped, overproduced. And every little thing, is paranormal. They really take a moment to step back. And like the summer when I got that weird picture, And I told Tom, look what I have here. And some people are like, no, that could just be the tree, possibly. But then I
Mhm.
tried recreate, and Tom knows this. I was going to see if I could debunk this photograph. And different times we went back there, different positions, different times of day, different where, and I could never recreate that photo. So does it mean it's paranormal? No, but it leaves to possibilities. Um, I would never go where there are haunted objects. Random ghosts, yes, but not a place they keep those objects. And there's some stories of how people kind of make fun of certain dolls and things. And after they leave, they have some very unfortunate circumstances. Now, is that just because they're letting that get to their brain, or was there really? But also, once they went back or sent a letter of apology, and it was read to such items such as a doll, Robert being one of them, um, then it would cease. So was that just again placebo effect that okay, I did this, I'm going to be okay now, no bad luck? You
Mhm.
never know. So let me back up a little bit because I know that okay, so there's the Netherlands, and let's see. Beth says Seattle has an entire smaller Seattle underneath it.
Mm.
I toured it before, fascinating. They had to rebuild the town on higher ground. And same with Portland, they had the tunnels where they would take it was for use for prostitution. It was for the brothels and stuff. And what they would do at the bars, sometimes these women would get certain men that drunk at the bar or whatever, and if they needed people to work ships, they had this thing where they would get them so stinking drunk, they basically they pass out, they hit a little lever, boom, there they go down, below the bar, and then next thing they know, they're being waken up on and getting shipped off onto a ship to work as steward help. So yeah, crazy history. This well, I'll say this planet has, yes, this country has. Cat's like no dolls. Now, talk about dolls. If no one, people don't like dolls, go try out the a video watching the Island of the Dolls. Talk about creeping. And Ramon also went there as well. There's a lot of investigations that have been there, and that's quite the place too. And with Shan's place that we're going to be looking into tomorrow with Ginger, his mom actually, it was an antique store, but it was for a lot of it was mostly for dolls. So she had dolls from George Washington area. She used to know how to paint and repair and conserve, old dolls. And Shan says to try growing up in a house where you go up the stair or any place and you got these dolls looking at you like, no, 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 no. If they're not Barbies, then no. But yeah, he said that alone used to scare the shit out of him and his brothers. But
I'm sure.
uh,
That's creepy.
yeah, yeah, the underground brothels. Yep, unfortunately. Yep. All countries have crazy histories. And what is this? I watched a documentary on that island. Oh, hell
Mhm.
no.
Yeah.
Oh, and I remember there being an episode of the Dead Files, and oh my God, this poor the parents called Steve and Amy in, and to me, Amy is legit. She's one of the legit ones. Her and Cindy Kaza. And for this episode, they were called to this house because their daughter, her name is Sabbath. If I believe it, no, was it Sabbath? Sabbath. It was kind of like a witchy name, pagany name, but she was having experiences, and they're describing. And then Steve walks in the house, and this woman had like over 2,000 dolls. There was not a space empty in this house without a doll being in place. And he even came in going, and you could see it on his face, like on production. What the did I just step into? And the same thing with Amy. And she's just like, no wonder this poor girl, you know. And she says there are times when spirits will use a doll, allegedly. I mean, I go by, um, to, house a spirit. Not all of them will, but she goes, there were certain spirits associated or connected to these dolls. And she said that you need to get, I mean, there was just so much collective energy there too, from all the different people that had owned the dolls, not to mention the, the spirits of the lands in the area where, and the woman was like, well, I don't want to get away with my doll. I mean, you couldn't move somewhere. There's always a doll somewhere, no matter where you were in the house. And the look on Amy's face too when she walked in, and she was like, because they try to cover everything up so she doesn't get, distracted or gets influenced. That's the whole point of her doing the walkthroughs at night. Everything gets covered up. They couldn't cover up all, and she was just like, oh my God. What they were all like, what did we walk into? And even Stephen, who wasn't quite sure, he said never had an experience, was just like, I get it. She's, so yeah. Check out that episode, y'all. I can't remember the name of it, but type Dead Files and, the dollhouse or something, the woman with the dolls. Yeah. No. Wait a minute. How did we get into Barbarella and Jane Fonda? A doll?
It's your chat.
Doll scene? Oh, okay. I don't know that.
For once, it's not my fault in the chat. So
I don't know. I don't get usually that in my chat, and now you're here, so can't completely throw me under the bus on that one. No $37 for Christmas. Yeah, it's just and I know a lot of people don't like Ghost Adventures, but when they were there, this one doll started going off. There was no batteries, there was nothing. And this doll, you shouldn't have seen Aaron was scared shitless. But yeah, it's interesting how, but yeah, I'll just hand it over back Tom, because, Tom's getting a little too easy here tonight. He's going to have to do some talking.
I'm just letting you go. I'm just like, this is the easiest.
Well, I don't want to be blamed that never mind, I'm not going to say it. Oh, but yeah. So Hellier, pretty interesting, and
and it starts tying into like the Mothman prophecies and all that stuff. A lot of John Keel influence on it. So
Indra Cold
Indra Cold
is mentioned in there. The grinning man, the smiling man.
Yep.
I read on him once with Sherry back in the day when I used to do my my paranormal cryptid show on Indigo Jag, and we got some interesting cards on him. I can't remember, it's been so long. But and for people who don't know who he is, just a brief is he's considered an extraterrestrial that has come to or has been on our planet, and was there to help the government, during World War II or just after, something like that.
I don't remember exactly now.
But yeah, and they said that he ended up passing away. And I'm like, how does an alien But if you're like a hybrid, or if you live long enough on Earth, our gravity can change.
That may or may not be true anyway, actually.
Yeah, may or may not. So
they've kind of, word has kind of changed on that he may not have died.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of misinformation, people who claim to have, like Brody and all, they say, hey, I have, this is what, and then it's just putting information out there. People think they can trust them, and then it's all about, misaligning people's to, telling a lie to cover up a truth with it. Just, yeah. So you just kind of gotta, and they research, they dig in. So I'll be interested to see what they come up with for this third season. And Brienne is here. Hello, Brienne.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's January, but I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be. They haven't. I think they would be saying it more if it was. So I think it's still got a little bit of time.
Yeah, a bisque doll is porcelain, and Shan's mom knew how to. And Shan said the place used to smell sometimes too, but his mom would be able to clean off the old paint, clean off things, and repair and glue and stuff. So yeah. And then they moved, but Shan had said he had seen a girl spirit swinging on a swing. And he said, I saw that on the second floor of one of these rooms they were in. And there was no swing or tree for someone to be swinging on a swing from. So hopefully he'll be feeling better to join us just for the discussion, because Shan doesn't want to really be there because he likes to look at cards and flip throughs with me and stuff. But when it comes to say with reason, I'm going. But he will hopefully
He's a
be there
scaredy
too.
cat.
No, he just doesn't care for it. Like he goes on about his, doom and gloom stuff or certain, movies. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. So, but, yeah. Every now and then I call him Shan Squatch. Tom's nickname for Shan. But yeah, we've had a couple of kids look at him too because of the beard. And they're like, oh, Santa, But we saw a guy that looked just like, he must go around and do the thing for the kids, because he was in Safeway with somebody and he walked by and Shannon and I looked at each other and went, yeah. So, but yeah, and Sasquatch and stuff. So, and the popular saying now, it was not a bear. That's what people are saying now. It was not a bear. So if you see that on a t-shirt, you're not quite, it's probably someone referring to, a Bigfoot sighting, let's see. Let me back up here a little bit. So looking to see if there were any comments. Okay, so Beth says, I have that thing, Claire, whatever, that when I pick up objects at antique shops, I sometimes see. That is psychometry, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know what Claire that would be. I don't know if that is a Claire. It just would be known as psychometry. And that happened to me once. So it's pretty cool. Well, it was kind of sad for me when it happened with me with the ring I picked up. But yeah, that's why I was like, with antiques, they're very cool, but be sure you get anything, you smudge them, cleanse that energy. And, we have a store here that sells some antiques and I'm just like, oh, that's really nice. But there's some things I see and I'm like, oh no, I keep walking, because you can already kind of feel, I'm like, that's okay. You'll go to the right home or whatever. And then Irene said, I get that, Beth, though maybe it was just my imagination, but sometimes it's so vivid. You jot them down, journal them. And so when you have these experiences, then you can go back and take a look later on to see, if because if we try to figure out something right away there, we know, we kind of,
you're just going to put your own spin onto it.
Yeah. So if you write things down,
that way you have a record. Yeah.
And then go and look again and fresh.
Yep. And if something happens to you and you go, hey, didn't I think about this? You go back, you look at your thing and you can see how, how close it is or how accurate it is. It's really helpful. I say that like I do it, and I don't, because I'm really bad at doing it, but
it's do as I say and not do what I don't.
Not as I do.
Oof. Oof. So Beth also said, don't let your logic talk you out of it. Intuitive hit. Yeah. So you feel something, you need to write down. Like the one night Shan had gone to bed earlier and I want to stay up late because I had the whole living room to myself. And here goes debunking, because there are times when being in this apartment, bless you, that we have heard stuff and we're like, okay, we do have, other people in the building and, this and that. But a couple of nights ago, it kept sounding like somebody was sitting in Shan's chair. Because you would hear how it would move, kind of like on the floor. So I'd just be doing this, and then I hear I'm like, okay. And I go back to doing, and then I heard. So this happened like 4 times, and at one point I was like, okay, now I do hear her upstairs. Can her vibration come all the way down through the walls and into our floor to make it sound like there's something going on with Shan's chair? I'm like, I don't think so. Now it's getting cooler outside at night because during this time of year, it gets up to about 45,
Hmm.
50 during the day, but then at night, it drops down to about 36 degrees. So could it be the apartment, the floor cooling, and maybe it adjusts and maybe makes the sound like someone's in Shan's chair? Maybe. So I tried debunking it, and then finally, like after the fourth time, I was like, okay, listen, if and I went through the whole spiel, and after that, it got quiet. So, um, let me back up. I did see your question, Allison. I just want to make sure I see. Oh, wait a minute. Do you see people? I'll even see a person, and my mouth just starts saying stuff about them, and then I find out it's true. Oh, so when you meet people, so you're picking up on stuff. Okay. All right. Well, practice and trust in your ability. And again, keep track and see how much, information is spot on and just keep working with that, Irene. And let's see. I thought psychometric was measuring intelligence. I had a professor who was a psychometric. He was into IQ testing. Now, psychometry for this is being able to touch something.
Yeah, I think it's a dual meaning thing.
And let's see. Thankfully, I have never had any issues with antiques. Neither did my mom or my sister, but I know it can happen because Allison's got some beautiful antiques in her place. Let's see. My house is full of other people's old stuff. Dead people, things that, woo.
Except I still say I saw somebody in Allison's room that one time.
That's right. Were the three of us doing a show
I think
together?
so. Yeah.
And Tom was like, wait a minute, Allison. And for Tom to point that out.
We might not have been doing the show. It might have been behind the scenes at the time.
Behind the scenes. Huh. But yeah, and for Tom to admit that he thinks he might have saw something or seen
Exactly.
something. Yeah. Because Tom's the biggest skeptic you will have.
Not the biggest skeptic, but
in our community, yeah. I mean,
well, I like to use a little thing called logic.
not run off into the whole, like that picture with me. I was like, take a look at this. I sent it to Tom. I sent it to Allison. Then I shared it to a few other people. Now, what are your impressions? And I didn't direct them or anything. I said, look at this picture. So I made sure I didn't, put that already in there. And then, so I think I would make a good investigator because I'd be there right away to see what I could debunk,
You would believe everything you heard.
Huh?
You would believe everything you heard.
You
would think everything's a ghost.
People's stories, but if I'm experienced something like the other night, I was like, okay, can I debunk this? Can this be the house settling the floor because it's getting colder outside?
That's true.
Could it be my neighbor upstairs? Mozzie was sitting curled up, sleeping next to me. There was nothing touching his chair that was on the floor. It was just, but I kept hearing a little bit like, Tom must have gotten his delivery. So any previous tenants in that unit? Yes, there was a woman but did not die. There was a woman that lived here for about 20 years. And, she had to be...
I'll be back in a minute.
Okay. So she had to go into assisted living. And it was just so odd and, peculiar how the universe just had it where Shan and I were just about to get another place. And this particular woman at this time had to leave, and boom, the apartment was just there. It just still blows our mind, the synchronicity, of all that. Other people, of course, probably have come and gone here. Allie upstairs, she's been here for a while. I know Wade in the back has been here for a while. One of our other neighbors moved out. Kamud, she's from India. She's here. So I don't know of any people at the moment that have passed here, but I'm sure that there have been at some point. And let's see. I want to go. Hi, Shelby. I want to go. I love Paisley. Okay, now we're talking about Paisley. I put nice. Hey, Paisley's nice too. Prince named his studio in home Paisley Park. Let's see. They probably got rid of the term when they got rid of IQ testing and started handing out awards to every kid in the class. You know, some of that. Yeah. I know a lot of kids. I don't know. I should say I know a lot of kids. I can see how a lot of kids would feel, you know, being left out, because some, worked hard to get, the best grades that they could possibly get, and then, not being at least awarded for the effort to show the work that they did put in, while others that might come easily, more easily gain the words. I can kind of see how, um, again, I got to do the devil's advocacy there. I even had a pair. Whoa, what is this? I had even had a pair of Dead Man's high. Oh, I was saying high heels. No, I high end and paisley print pajamas. Wow. Let's see. Psychometry is a form of clairsentience, clair feeling, and clair agency. Clair no tangency, clair touching, where you gain psychic information. Oh, I'll have to share that with Tom when he gets back. Let's see. Oh, that's true. Yep. So by touching objects, essentially reading the energy or soul imprinted on them. Yep. Exactly. And that had happened to me once in Arizona when I was with a women's group. Oh, the cat's out there meowing because he wants to be fed. Hey, Maz, wait till Uncle Tom comes back. And someone wasn't sure what to do because we had a jar that Nan would bring out, and it would be for objects that we want to release, to give away at least for a while. And we would put it in the jar, and it would be. Oh, and he comes back with a shirt. Is that what you got?
No. I was cold.
I was just cold. I'm going to
But
have
no,
to
my
leave you
package
for a
did come
second.
finally.
Because Shan's not well. He's laying down and Mozzie wants dinner. But I wanted to share what Jax found out about. So here. So psychometry is a form of clairsentience, clair feeling, and clair tangency, clair touching, where you gain psychic information. So boom, 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 boom. So I wanted to share that with you because I know she posed the question to the both of us, and I'll be back in a second with. So basically, just really quick, what happened was that a girl, one of the women in our circle, women's group, didn't know what was what this ring, and the women were passing it around. They weren't really getting much. The minute I picked it up, I just started crying. I felt so sad, and I could see, this girl with blonde hair pop into my mind, and not facial features or anything, but and she was just, this was a ring that had been very special that was given to her by someone she loved. Probably, I think, I'm going to use the word suitor, or possibly a boyfriend or someone she loved. And for whatever reason, you know, and so it was just a lot of sadness behind it. And I said, take it away, take it away. And so she ended up putting it back into the bottle. So I'm going to go feed this cat. I'll be right back. If I can figure out how to, there we go. All right, Mozzie. Good Lord. Pipe down.
Should mute herself. Uh-oh.
What? Be quiet.
Okay, well, my channel now. I own this. What's going on, everybody? I'm not one for ghosts, but I do feel like I'm not against the idea of the psychometry.
All right.
I think there could be like a scientific type of explanation for it, based on energy and such,
What you talking about, Scully?
Oh boy, I don't know. I was commenting that you didn't turn
I
off
heard
your microphone.
scientific.
You never muted your mic, so we heard you feeding your cat.
Yeah, well, I took my camera off. I'm sorry. But yeah, he wanted to be fed and now he's happy. Oh, Tom, take over. And yes, feed me,
It's
mommy.
my show now.
There you go. Go for it.
So this is my guest, Heather. Welcome to my channel.
Welcome. Oh, speaking of your channel.
Oh, geez.
And you walked right into that one. You opened the door. So, Tom, what you got planned on doing with your channel? Maybe a second one?
I don't know. I don't know yet, but I don't know. It's been a weird year for me with tarot, especially. I haven't really been doing much of it.
I'm going to interject really quick and say half of your face is off screen. We see most of your plant stand right there. We want to see the whole beautiful face. There we go.
Thumbnail.
That's what Ben did after our show today when it ended.
See, that's why we can't be in the same place. We're the same person.
Yeah. So, but this new channel, seeing that you're not really doing much with the other one.
I don't know. It's just a thing. I never like did anything with it yet. So we'll see.
I'm just getting
We'll see.
Yeah.
If I ever.
I've been having to deal with my BS, so he can shovel stuff out at me today if he wants. I've earned it. Meltdowns with the laptop. I'm like, oh no, I clicked on this. Now I'm getting this. Oh my God, what the hell do I do now, Tom? Oh, excuse me.
This is the cassette that I'm on. If anybody wants to.
It's called Death Squad.
Death Signal.
Ooh. So. Tom's got music out there, folks. Ooh. And so which song?
6.
Wait a minute, I can't. Oh, Early Ritual. There we go. Something.
Silver Structure.
Silver Structure. Ooh.
It's a soundtrack for a fake movie.
A soundtrack for a fake movie. So the movie doesn't exist. It just exists in the imagination.
Yeah, I have everybody that made a song for it. So
for a non-existing movie. So ooh.
Yep. You can listen to it online if you want. It's out there.
Very cool. Have to check it out. It's on iTunes, right?
Probably. No, actually, I think you have to just get it on. You have to go on Bandcamp.
Bandcamp?
Yeah.
And oh, I didn't click on it all the way. Nope, not this one. Ooh, wooza. Do you sing, Tom?
No.
He's like,
no.
It's pretty much all like electronica, right? Sound playing.
It's not even. It's like it's noise and some very harsh, like industrial type stuff too. But like my thing is more dark ambient noise.
Yeah.
So I have other stuff out there.
I like some of that. I've seen way too many ghosts not to be into them. Yeah. Me, well, I haven't seen, but I've experienced the attacks from them. Yeah.
I mean, I've experienced things. I believe in the concept of ghosts. I don't think that they're necessarily dead people.
So Tom isn't sure if he says dead people. You know, some people say, I see dead people.
Yeah.
I see maybe, kind of, sort of.
I think you can create a ghost and that you're seeing. I don't know if it's necessarily really like if you see a ghost of somebody or like your dead parent or something like that, like are they necessarily that person, or are they a construct that you've manifested and created? I don't know.
And a good show to kind of see that play out, and it is a bit violent. I will let you know ahead of time. We're waiting for season 2. There was only 2 seasons. We're waiting for Prime to release the second one, but a show called Lazarus. And the small little premise is that this young man is a psychologist, and his taking after his father. And his younger sister, about 20 years before, whatever, had been murdered. And his dad, he gets a call that, his father tries calling him, and he just kind of sends the call off, and I'll get back to him later. Well, his father took his life, and he goes to his father's office, and then weird things start to happen. Seeing his father, seeing his patients, some of his patients that are dead. So it's a very interesting show. Just know that it can be. They do talk about suicide, and it can be very graphic at points. But it's really good, Shannon, and it ended with quite the cliffhanger where we were like, "Oh shit, man, no!" So we're waiting for them to release it for us to watch the last season. But again, that same argument, Tom, and even he's trying to figure out, is this my brain, or is this actually the spirits that I'm
Yeah,
seeing? But how
yeah.
can he do it in his brain if he doesn't even know who these clients are? He's never seen them before. So it plays on that, and you kind of have to figure that out for yourself. What do you think? And so
That's the thing, and that's the point that I have, is that it's like you don't really know. I mean, everybody will say like, "Oh no, I know, I had this experience and I saw this," and I'm sure you believe that, but doesn't mean it's fact. Doesn't mean it's objectional truth, or objective truth, like for people. So it's it's a
yeah,
weird thing. I just don't like to,
for
when it
quite a
comes to this
labor
kind of stuff. I don't like to deal in absolutes because
absolute.
you know
So what would be an absolute that you do believe in?
that I don't know anything. That's it.
There's your answer. That's not bad. I'm just curious. That say, hey, ask him that.
Yeah, because I can't say, oh, I'm even here. I can't say that like definitively. I believe that I am. I have the belief in the construct of this is reality. Is it? I don't know.
Or it
You
could
don't
just be in
know.
the Matrix.
Could just be the Matrix.
I like to think life is more than just like the Matrix movie, or just
You would hope. I mean, like I'm not a real believer in that concept either necessarily, but it's a possibility. I mean, like I don't
I
know.
think maybe sometimes the realities that we experience or see are the ones that we create in our minds. It could very well be each one of us will have a different reality,
I mean, I think so.
especially when our life ends, and energetically.
I mean, I do think that we are all in what we're, like you don't know for sure what you're seeing is what I'm seeing, you know, and I think there's, we're surrounded by our own reality. We're going through our own reality tunnel or whatever you want to call it. And I think there's times when we're bouncing off of each other's and we're interconnecting, and I think there's things like that. And
That's
um
pretty cool. That's far out.
but I don't know. This is why, like, I'll talk a lot about like things about like objective truth, and because they're this is, if we go all the way back to when we were talking with Jeff and having conversations about free will and stuff like that.
Yes,
Like, I
that
mean,
was
it's
quite
just,
a
it's
conversation.
yeah, it's the same kind of idea of like, where does my free will stop and your free will stop? And
And that
like,
video is still up if anybody wants to watch it. My other
yeah,
channel, Indigo Jaguar, where I've done shows with Allison and I, with Tom, and with Selena, having these conversations, and also with Jeff, Tom and I. Those are all still up, for people to watch if they want to see that. There was something that I wanted, shoot, and I took it down. So here. Irene says it was in November with no one there, and a guy dressed old school like Glenn walked up from the falls and into the forest. I followed and he disappeared. The bush was too thick to walk through. So that was another experience that she had. And I think that could very well have been a spiritual, at least for her. And like you would say, in her reality, I think she actually saw one. And Shelby said, what happened was my family was trying to get this cat that was in my grandmother's basement for the open house we're having tomorrow. Me and my aunt tried to get the cat. Something slipped. Oh, so is this oh boy. And I don't see the cat freaked out and scratched me, but my aunt really bad. Oh, so you're going to go to the ER. Oh, okay. I was worried to go, is this going to be a story about a spirit cat or something? But I'm sorry, girl. I hope you feel. Industrial ambient is like chainsaws and shit.
Not quite, but it can
Hi,
be.
Gypsy. Good to see you. Sounds very supernatural, yes. And right, like your mental playing tricks, well, right,
Playing tricks on you.
playing tricks on you. I think that's possible, and I think they're also true operations.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't. I'm not gonna say it's necessarily even playing tricks on you. I think it's your subconscious like creating something that either you may need or a way of interpreting something that's happening. I mean, that's the other thing is like we could be interacting with things that we have no understanding of, that we have no way of even conceptualizing what it is. So I think we tie definitions to things that we feel like explain what, but they're based on what we know, and what we know is limited. Ultimately,
Yeah.
we don't know what happens after we die. We don't know what happens anywhere. We can only see what we can see, but we know that we're not seeing everything that we are capable of being able to see. Our
Okay.
brain takes in so much information, and we filter
And we
so
use that
much of it.
much of it.
Yeah. I
So
mean, so we're just putting our best, like, our brain does its job putting its best explanation of what it tries to make sense of what you're seeing or hearing or feeling, as best as it can for the situation that it thinks it can. But then you have your whole, like, you have all your yeah, I want to get to that in a second because that made me giggle. Uh
Isadora's comment.
yeah.
Okay.
But there's just like there's so many factors of things, but like yet there's so much that we don't understand and don't know. So and I think it's all things to think about, and I think that's what makes it interesting. That's why I'm interested in a lot of this stuff. Because like, yeah, I've seen enough things to go, okay, there's definitely more than reality. There's more than just normalcy. There is a paranormal existence of things. So
You got touche from Gypsy and bravo, Tom. Words to live by.
there you go. But I mean,
Um,
Isidore's kind of
Plato.
like
Yeah.
is interesting because I felt like that.
Let me go back.
I don't know how she meant it. I would love to know like what her thought was in that.
So,
But
Isidora,
to
you want to
me,
expand on that?
yeah, if you want to expand, because I have a thought, but I'm curious.
Like projecting your energy out and then trying to make sense of what it's
Yeah, I mean,
feeling
are we
and
just
experiencing. And the only way that it can, because our language is going to be different
yeah
energetically than everybody else's. We carry similar, of course, because we're all, human race species. And we're all going to carry, and our bodies are going to work on the same types of energy. But just, again, I guess what we can think of is how does it read differently, and how those, because again, you see some people who when they die they go down they see the light. Sometimes it's a tunnel, sometimes it's not. And some people will see their God, their Jesus. Some people will say, oh my God, I was there and I saw the most beautiful, and they'll be like, it was the Summerlands, I saw this, I saw that. And then some people will be like, well, I saw something very dark, I heard something that sounded like people screaming like hell. And then some people are just like, I was just, in a very happy place, right? So it's all
and
kind
some
of
people
to
say there's
how,
nothing. So
but to me, there's got to be more. Let me see if I can find.
That's my point, though. Your statement right there is like, there's got to be more. Like that's your desire that this can't be all it is, but very well could be. We don't know. This could be it. This could just be some weird chemical reaction of, and this is all we get. You don't know. I think it's a lot of hoping and a lot
And then
of
someone could say the same with what you're sharing with us.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's my point. Yeah. I mean, like, nobody knows anything. So anybody who's saying that they know, they're fucking lying to you. They're
Even the
I
ones
don't
that
know
channel
they're getting
and say
something.
that they're channeling this person in that person, and
They might believe they are, but
like you said, we won't know till we get to the other side, and then we'll go over there and go, "Oh shit!"
yeah, I might get over and be like, man, what an asshole I was. Jeez, I'm so wrong.
And Tom will be on the other side and go, "Shit! Good thing she's still on the other side. She's fucking right. There I am. There's my scribe. There's my hat. There's my pen. Oh, there's no way in hell I'm going to let her know it."
Oh yeah, no. Or maybe that was
like, what is she talking about?
Maybe I sent something back in time so that you would say that to me. No, to make me think about it.
For people who don't, I'll get to in a second, but Brienne said, I saw my first husband's grandfather in the dark cabin and described him to my husband, and he was shocked. I'd never met him or seen pictures.
Yeah, I mean.
Tom, is any of your music here on YouTube?
Yes.
Go to Tom's channel.
Well, there is that. Yeah.
Pick one of the very few videos.
I don't know how many.
No, if you play it, you hear this really cool music. And I told Tom, I want that for my videos. If I, because I don't do videos, I do lives.
Can't afford me.
Huh?
You can't afford me.
Can't afford you. No. But yes, apparently Tom is on YouTube other than his music.
Yeah, I'll throw some chum in the water here. Let's see. Yeah. I have old stuff on here that I had posted up about a year or so ago through something like Spotify. It's on.
And Jack says, our brains have a way of filling in blanks at times with the unknown.
Yeah,
I keep telling Jack, when things settle down with her, she's got to join me for a Friday. We can have these great conversations. That would be.
I mean, our brain, the job of our brain is to make sense of what we're experiencing. So that's very much what it's doing.
I like that, Shelby. I would call upon Bastet for kitty cats. That's beautiful. St. Francis too. The saints don't just like angels. They're not meant to only help or believe. It doesn't matter what our spirituality is. I really feel if you need help with something. I mean, I'm not Christian. I don't follow the Christian faith, but if I'm missing something, I call on St. Anthony, and I would say 8, 9 times out of 10, I find what I need. Not long after. So, and with St. Francis, loving animals and taking care of animals, you can reach out to him as well. And let's see. And Brienne said, very well said, Tom. And yes, our brain is so limited. And Irene is sharing some more stories. When I was like 13 and my friends and I got into the occult, we saw a Bible fly off the shelf and my grandmother's rocking chair rocked by itself. I went along with it. So how would you explain that? If that was you, Tom, how would you explain that? How would you say? How would you approach that?
I mean, I've seen things like that. To me, it's like, but what you don't know. One, you don't know if you're just not making that happen, or if it even happened, and you're just perceiving that to happen. Because you're control of your site, but even if it was a multiple event, but we also don't know how much we have influence. I mean, there is like mass hallucinations. There are like events that happen like that. So I mean, if you want to agree that there's something like an Akashic record out there, then why can't you say that somebody or people aren't influencing uh, a situation around them? So I think like just think of the concept of like an egregor or something, an egregore. It's created by a group belief in something.
That's
So
an egregore. I know it was
yeah,
a little
egregore.
hard for
Yeah,
me to understand what you. So Tom's talking about an
yeah.
egregore.
I mumble.
Like who used to do that? Oh, I
I miss
can't think of it.
Moonlight.
Kurt Cobain. And Weird Al would have marbles coming out of his mouth. But Irene continued and she said, but right before the Bible flew, I said to myself, wouldn't it be neat if the Bible flew off the shelf? And the
Just
same
saying.
about the moving chair. So you can argue that mentally you were able to tap into an ability that some of us have. Prue had that psychokinesis, and maybe you can make things move.
Yeah.
That could maybe, but you never know. And if you see
or you jumped into the timeline where that happens. There's an infinite amount of timelines, and you chose that one.
See, Tom's got all these really cool possibilities, and then it's just kind of like, but just to get down to at least one core belief that you can. And he's like, no, can't do it. Can't do it. I have had this is very interesting, Irene. I have had other experiences with moving things sporadically since, always when I was super angry. We got a charmed one, I think, in our chat.
I think we need to sit here and piss off Irene one night and just see what happens.
No, I was going to say, I dare. No, I am. Girl, if you can do that, I'm going to. Yeah. I think so, Kat. I have absolutely no control over it, though. That you know of. I mean, if we could train our brain, figure out how our brains used to work, and we retrain ourselves, but because of over the years, we've been, like growing up, we were told the spirit world's not real. Stop believing in imaginary friends. You didn't see this, you didn't see that. So a lot of times, immediately, we're shut down, and we lose that ability to be able to see and perceive, and even maybe develop innate abilities that we have. And brains are powerful, so we can convince ourselves of a lot of things, good, bad, and different. Once we are dead, hopefully we will know.
And Allison, that's one of the things that scares the shit out of me, that we won't. That we won't know.
Know what? That one was around the other side.
Or that maybe there isn't another side. Maybe there isn't anything. Maybe there is just lights out. Done.
I don't know. Like I said, my experiences have kind of led me to believe that, there is. And so exactly what it is,
Yeah, and I'm not saying you're wrong. Sure. I'm just saying.
No, I got to have some sort of, because just to say this is it, and I just chum in the water. What? I lost on that one.
I said throw some chum in the water before.
Oh, I don't get. What's that mean?
For sharks. Oh. For like you throw bait into the
that's what it's called. An old drone track.
I put up a link or something.
Oh, there we go. So Tom put up a link, and there we go. I'm kind of like tempted to click on it, but then I'd leave the show and leave you behind. I don't want to do that.
My plan would have worked.
Let's see. Let me back up here, because now.
Exactly.
See, this is why I have to have Tom on more often, because I love these conversations.
I feel like we always have the same conversation, though.
But we have different people in chat, and people have different experiences, and
it always just comes down to that.
Them, it gets us gets the wheels turning. I love
I'm just
Archangel
glad
Michael.
Allison came to see me.
Now it's been a hot minute. So you feel loved, Tom? We all came to see you. Maybe Miss Tara D
Sure.
will pop in.
Oh, now you cursed the chat, calling her forth.
She popped in my show with Ben and I. So, but today is treatment day for Miss Tara D, everybody. So, depending on how she feels, she may or may not be able to join us. And let's see. I love Archangel Michael because I knew when he was Michelle. I have girl. You stuck me.
Why
on
not?
that. But Michelle, who? What if having a bad day is really just shifting into a different timeline to help people there, and then you wake up the next day and everything is fine? You go
Prove
back
to
to
me
your
it's not.
thoughts?
I mean, I don't think so, but who knows? I mean, there was a time in my life when I really did think that way, though, where
You
it
thought
was
this?
about jumping between
Some people think it's possible
reality
because
shifting.
just scientifically, and with Einstein being able to talk about wormholes and things, that it's very possible to, if he says, if this is that possibility, then what's to say we can't be able to do that?
Yeah,
And that to me
no,
is kind of scary because there could be a whole other time frame right now where the Nazis won, or
yeah,
some really other bad things could have happened where there's
the man in the high castle.
yeah.
Now it's just we think of time being linear because we experience it from a point A to a point B. But time could be all infinite. Time could be happening right on top of each other, all just in one instance.
Yeah, because atoms, I mean, how small you can't even see an atom, but I mean, the atom is you can't see it, but yet there is substance to it. I mean, that's just what racks my brain. How there are some things that exist on such a scale that we can't even see it, and it's just like, people ask you to believe in something. Well, I can't see it. Well, is believing seeing, or is it no? Is seeing believing, or is believing and seeing? I mean, we can't see the wind, but we know it's
See,
there. We feel
seeing
it.
is not believing because when you have instances like what is it, the oh my god, what was it called, the what is it, the gorilla experiment or whatever,
Uh-uh.
where our memories are and our perception is completely terrible. Eyewitnesses are not a good witness, really. There was an experiment that was done where like there was a basketball game being played or something, and people were passing the ball, and it was set up to do this, and then at the end of they had people watch it, and then the question, like the implication was that it was about like how many times the ball was passed or whatever, and then afterwards they asked the people, when did how many of you noticed the gorilla walk through? And people are like, it was like at least half the people didn't even notice, and they played it back. Somebody dressed as a gorilla walked through. I mean, this is basic psychology stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, so you can't rely on what you're seeing. That was my point before. I mean, your brain you're filtering out things that don't make sense or doesn't need to make sense to what you're trying to perceive. And that's why we're able to convince ourselves of things, because we look at things in a way and go, oh, well, this could be that, because we want to make connections. We want to make these leaps into, what makes sense.
And Shelby said, all the more reason to love your life and be blessed every second you're here, Tom. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, you
Just
gotta,
never know.
again, I mean, do as
And then
I say, not as I do, because
Jack said something about a louse mouth organ kind of sound. Jack's girl, you're losing me. Unless
Oh,
you're referring to what Irene. So Irene shared another story. Last time it happened, I was angry and threw a long pipe like a spear. It was about to go into the side of the car of the woman I was angry with. I realized it was about to hit and yelled, "I'm sorry." Okay. Grabbing my head in my hands and so she, sorry, and she grabbed her, and the pipe stopped midair and dropped. She just looked at me like, what and went into her house. I thought you said it was the car. Oh, the house, the car outside the, wow. Yeah, I can't.
yeah.
Just journal this stuff. Keep note. You just, hey, Amanda, how's it going? Twisted Sushi is here. How's
Hey,
Mama
Sushi.
Sushi
It's
and both
almost
baby
time.
sushis?
Almost time.
Yep. Um, I'm sorry in advance for that. I saw it somewhere and it was stupid. I don't know what, girl, you're fine. I didn't see anything comments that you're making that were offensive. You're good. Let's see. They made a movie where the Nazis built a base in the dark side of the moon. It was insane. Oh yeah, I think there are our
There's a lot of
governments and their
things.
militaries are there. Yeah. The wind is like the ocean. Ooh. Let's see. Brienne shared, when my dad passed, I felt him on my left side shoulder until his funeral. It was a touch I felt, its
Mhm.
pressure, and gave me courage.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Tom,
Yeah.
I see your look. The video Tom posted, I see your look. Okay.
I don't know.
That was the concept for the Polar Express, believing in Santa Claus and the magic of Christmas. And so was the Tim Allen movies of the Santa Claus, which Shan loves. He hands her the snow globe and says, "It's not seeing that's believing; it's believing that is seeing," or something like that. So um, that's true. That's true, Tom, psychologically. So, and Beth has got to take her boaty out. So bye, Beth. You're
Not
probably gone
bad.
already. I know there's a lot, been trying to
Oh my God,
share all
10
the
days,
comments.
Amanda. Oh my God.
And let's see, when I was at my aunt's funeral, my hair was still long. I had it in a braid. My sister sat in the pew behind me. I
No,
felt
I get it.
someone yank on my brain. I mean, on your brain or your braid. Well, it's attached. I'm sure our brain probably felt it too, but she didn't
Yeah.
do it. So, you know,
Yeah, I mean, like, there's people feel things.
the mandala effect. Yeah.
Like, if you think about it, the so like my mother was an amputee, and she
Oh,
was somebody who felt like she had lost like her foot, and she would feel her toes tickle. Like people feel
wow.
things.
How
Your
poor
nerve
them.
endings, again, your body, your brain tries to make sense of things, and or anything. I mean, it could have been. I'm not discrediting because it could have been somebody pulling on your brain. I don't know. Could have been a spirit. Could have been. I have no idea. Did you experience it? Yes, you experienced it. I 100% believe that. But
And there have
it
been videos
was. I
too
don't
that
know.
people investigate where they catch, they can see somebody being tugged on, and there's nobody except for
Yeah.
that one ghost hunters episode. And of course, they had to have been in Buffalo at the train station, the terminal. But
I used to have um many, many years ago. I had long hair and
wow, I can't
uh
picture you with long hair.
yeah, that's when I was a kid. But then when I was a teenager, I just had hair in the front here. Uh and I I saw my hair pick up in front of me once. Like it just picked up.
And how did you
And
rationalize that?
I mean, you don't have to rationalize it. I mean,
Or
it happened. I don't know.
well,
I
you didn't
can.
do it, so
Maybe I did. I don't know.
your hands weren't near your hair,
Uh,
and yet it stood
Oh,
up on end.
you need your hands to do everything. You can't do things with your mind. You can't. You're. your mind does a lot. So maybe
So
I
if
don't
we're
know.
sleeping tonight and we feel like someone's tugging, I'm just gonna go, Tom, knock it off. Give it an elbow. Get out of here. I'm gonna grab the Palo Santo or Miss Terra D spray. That'll work too.
Oh, there you go.
Um,
Yeah, I got my bottle here.
the troll spray be gone. Tom be gone spray. Oh, and
That'll be
best
Miss
if I
Tardy's
did.
next gift that she sends out to everybody.
Yes.
Tommy Gone
And
spray.
let's see. It is journalism, Heather, because there is more. Okay, that was I know guys, I'm slow. Um oh, the video song Tom posted sounds similar to a louse mouth organ. Okay.
Now I understand what you're saying. Yes. Yes.
All righty. Yes, the phantom limb. We took that in
Mm-hmm.
nursing.
Yeah. Phantom limb.
And my
Yeah.
mom had actually dated this guy when I was younger, and he had lost, his leg from the knee down when he tried jumping on a train to run away from his abusive father. And I think I remember Don used to talk about still at some point feeling like at times that part of his leg was still there. You know, I can't imagine what that must feel like, or that what experience would be like. And I'm sorry your mom
Yeah.
had to go through that, Tom.
Yeah.
Sorry
That
to hear
sucked.
that.
Yeah.
Makes me think about mermaids, Bigfoot, and extraterrestrials. Phantom pain. Yes, whole part of the whole
Yep.
phantom pain is very normal for an amputated leg.
Yeah.
Whoop. Many people that have had fingers, toes, limbs amputated get sensations of it's just your body, like you're saying, the
Yeah.
cells in your body remembering.
Your nerve endings, like they stop at a point, but like they're still receiving signals, and they're just making like, well, it used to be here. Like this used to be the. So
I think even maybe Rick Allen might have talked about that too after the car accident that tore his arm off.
probably, yeah. I mean, I think it's extremely common for people.
One of the things too, and the drugs didn't help. Also, having to be able to deal with all that, but yeah, that experience I can't.
Yeah, see, and that
And
makes sense, Jax. Yeah, I mean,
interestingly, trans women do not report phantom limb syndrome after bottom surgery, but something gender
cisgender.
who have amputation due to accident or medical issue. Wow.
Yeah, which
Okay.
makes 100% sense because you've already your brain or your mind has already like you don't believe it's belonged there, so that would make sense.
I get it now. Okay. Whew, an itch that can't be
Sometimes it
scratched.
takes a little bit for Heather to computate what she's reading.
Watch it there, bro. Or you're going to feel your beer going, ow, god damn.
Well, I said the other day, beat her. Miss D Miss Tara D needed to beat her face, and you were thinking I was talking about you had to beat her face, like
I
beat
did.
her face. Yes, you did.
Wow.
And it's a
When the show's
what do you make?
over, I walk away. I'm like, wow, that was interesting. And then a few minutes later, most stuff I'll be like, it's just hard to retain so much of the stuff, but yeah. Come on, Miss Darrow D, where are you? But it was
Yeah, I
nice to
mean
see her.
we've called her forth like 4 times now, and she's not appearing. I don't know.
Now, I'm not going to do no sacrifices for Miss Darrow D. No.
Not tonight.
I require no, that's okay. But I'm just joking with Miss Tarot D. It makes sense because the nervous system still has
Yeah,
the information, even though the body part is
100%.
missing.
Yeah,
Yeah. And if you don't lose it because you don't want it, then it's good. If not, the grief alone would make it different. I would see that,
yeah.
we have to move for my son to transition. Okay. Yeah, they're going to have to move because her son wants to transition. And well, we know how Florida is. So, but he's lucky to have you, Jax. A lot of kids don't always get all the support from the parents that they need. I can see her on the big screen with Beetlejuice. Not me. Oh, Miss Tarot D. Oh, that's right. That one night she says, say my name 3 times. So Miss Tarot D, Miss
Oh
Tarot
boy.
D, Miss Tarot D. Wouldn't it be funny if she was watching this whole time and was just waiting for the right moment to pop on?
Now you're gonna go into the bathroom tonight and see her in the mirror like Bloody Mary.
Oh God. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. My mom completely dead
Mhm.
on her left half, the side that she complains about. Wow. Well, girl, you're probably, typing in your car and it's cold right now up in Canada, so you're probably doing your best to keep warm. So I wouldn't worry about your typing with your fingers, my dear.
Oh, it's fucking cold down here, man. So I can't even imagine what it must be like in Canada right now.
Yeah, we had a thick and high of 45 today. Um, then the sun
Oof.
came out for a little bit, which probably put it up to about 50. But yeah, we'll start probably getting hit with the colder weather by January. But it was nice having a high of like 50, 55 on my birthday. The sun was out, the sky was blue, there were clouds hanging in the mountains. So,
It's 29 right now.
all
It
right,
was
let's
high
see.
of 35 today for me.
Let's see what we had today. It is currently 45 degrees.
Mm.
We had a high of 55 today. And tomorrow we're going to have a high of 62. I got to get my oil changed tomorrow. So
I would kill for 62 degrees right now. Ah,
glad you're over there, over here. 64. Oh, Janet, that's right. You're in Phoenix. Wow. Yeah, to me, the 60s, 70s are nice. You start
yeah.
getting up higher, then it's like that 100 that we had here, even though it's not the same as an East Coast
No,
100,
East Coast sucks.
the
100.
humidity
100 sucks on the East Coast. So bad.
here, it was doable, but oh boy, chat jumped really fast. That's the kind of cold that'll chap your
Oh, wow. Clearwater. I have family in Clearwater.
yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I keep telling you, and Sam got to move out to Oregon. So next time, it's like 14 degrees out or wherever you are right there, it's a high of 67. You'll be like, hey guys, it's -8 there tonight, girl. Be warm in your car. We worry about you, Irene. Woke up to a full knee. Ooh, I just got it drained a couple of weeks ago. Girl, ow. I know my right side's been driving me nuts a little bit. Ooh, we are in single digits this weekend.
Mm.
Now here, not that I'm, gloating or anything.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
sorry.
you got the fires and the earthquakes to deal with, so
Well, that one fight. So during the summer, they grab them pretty quick, because they're going to be expected. Now,
yeah.
the one that they had here, that was set by a homeless, and from what I understand, it was an intentional one. And I've heard of some people who just barely escaped from their life with their life
No.
from the Phoenix area and Talent. You can still drive and see where the trees are all still, but they're rebuilding, they're moving on, and during the summer, like when I saw that across from my way out there, it's just like, yeah, it's all right. They'll be up there in a few, and they'll get it, bulldozed and covered up, and they did, but still, it was a change, but I'll move when I'm ready. Yeah. But so beautiful here in the mountains with the mist. And it was so foggy. So it was very mystical the last couple of days. But then we do have, oh, I won't get into it. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I was gonna say I was gonna say I hope it's Celsius, not Fahrenheit.
Oh, I lied. It's 8
Yeah,
Celsius. So it's not so,
it's not
well,
too
mine
bad.
is still, oh, it's still cold though. Good Lord. But yeah, well.
It's
Oh,
more
for people I
part.
was talking about earlier. So when I talk about, you know, the I had done a meditation. It's been a good year or so. And for some reason, Tom popped into my mind when I was sitting there listening to music, doing a meditation, and I could see him almost looking exactly like he is now. But there was a stone room, There was just enough light lit by a candle. There was a fountain pen quill, and he was leaning over something, and he had this type of hat on. I haven't seen, I haven't gone looking for it, but it felt very much like a scribe hat, and long beard, sitting over
There's my
and
fountain pen.
working. And it was just, an instant, for me, I try to look around, and it's just like my brain's like, nope, that's all you can see. I'm like, damn. But
That's all I allowed you to see. That's it.
that's what he allowed me to see. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
You'll learn more when you're ready.
But he's been around for a while, so he's our doubting Thomas here in our community.
Yes.
But
The name is
it's
very
good
fitting.
to have a healthy,
Well, I mean, it's
know,
very easy to get high on your own supply a lot of times on things, and it's just very. I think this community especially is rife for it, rife for it, rife with it. I think a lot of people want to believe things, and so they do, and your mind will help you do that. So, I'm not saying that I know anything more than anybody else, but
there was a channel, and Tom and I were talking about her backstage before coming on, and I'd seen her in chats and things. Her name is Lexi Frasche. Is that how you pronounce it? I think
fresh.
Frasche.
I think just fresh.
Fresh,
Fresh, yeah.
Fraiche. And she's starting to do videos, and she did a wonderful video today, or a couple of days ago. I just watched it
It was about a week
yesterday,
or so ago, yeah.
and kind of tapping into sort of like what we're talking about, where the community, where people are like, well, if you're not connecting with this deck, and why don't you like it, then you're not taking time to develop or understand it or open your heart to it. And if you don't believe this like I do, then so she just kind of touched base on some type of, sometimes gatekeeping in a way,
Yep.
but I have experienced that in certain circles where, if you don't believe, in a certain something, that then there's something wrong that you're not doing right. And I don't like that. So I kind of side with Lexi on that, where we all are going to have to give each other space, and we're not going to, like, one night when we had I don't know if Carolyn and Peter Booker were with us. I have not heard from them in a very long time. I hope they're okay. But we were having a conversation, and we were talking about demons, because we have conversations, like that in my chat, talking about spiritual beings and things and stuff. And somebody from another circle that I was no longer a part of just came yelling, in the chat, there's no such thing as that. And then, I'm like, oh, well, okay. So that's some of our perspective. What has been yours that makes you, Carolyn passed.
Really? I didn't know that.
Oh, because I reached out over the summer after we got here. Let me know what you can. Let me know what you find out, Jax. And this person came in and just. I don't know if you were with me doing that show that night, Allison. Because people are like, what's she talking about? Allison and I used to do Friday nights every night, taking a break and doing our thing.
Until I
Now
took over.
Life takes over. Yeah.
I kicked Allison to the curb. I said, Allison, get out of here. This is my chair.
No, but we would have these conversations with Carolyn and Peter and stuff. And one night, someone popped in, and they didn't explain or anything. They just yelled at us and then ran off. And I'm just like, if you're going to claim something, at least say, I would be like, well, my experiences have been
Wow.
this, they haven't come back since then. That was like over a year or so ago. But there are some people that, there's nothing but, all you need to do is embrace the love and light. You have to raise your vibration. You're going to be leaving other people behind, this and that. And I'm like, you know what? We all work energetically at different places in our life, just because we're not ready to get out of it, just because we're still in the 3D, and then they tossed about the 5Ds and the 3Ds, and I can respect their position on that, but it's almost kind of like you're telling people, if you're not believing what they believe, or accepting certain things, then you're not spiritually growing and you're stunting yourself. And it's just kind of like, I don't, I just don't. I like to have open conversations, and just different
Yeah.
perspectives.
Shit.
Yes, back in August, she did.
Yeah. Looking at the post on it now. Yeah. Wow.
Oh man, Carolyn. She was Spitfire too. You know, she didn't mince words at all. She shared her truth. Oh well, I hope Peter's okay.
That's
And
that makes me sad. I like
yeah.
them, even though I don't really necessarily agree with a lot of
Mm-hmm. But yet
what they think. But yeah, I always liked
they
it.
were always very nice and friendly, and
Yeah,
accommodating. So
that's too
wow.
bad.
Oh, okay. So you heard from, yeah. I don't talk to Amanda really anymore. She
Yeah, I haven't
mentions
talked to her in a while.
because I know her Carolyn used to hang out. Carolyn was her pit dog, she would say, for the trolls in Amanda's chats. I remember that. Um, let's see. Oh, Peter, what was this again? Peter has been on the Dream Show with an experience about her.
Mm.
Oh, Terry's channel. Okay. So, hey, Bill.
No, you summon Miss Tara D and you get Bill. Close enough.
Hey,
Hey,
Bill. I had a
Bill.
great time with Bill on his channel on Tuesday. Thanks again, Bill, for the fun this past week. Yeah, I don't think you did, Irene. She was insightful. There were some things that, she said that didn't resonate with me, and kind of something with my mother at one time that she said during a live where she says, you need to, forgive her. And I'm like, Carolyn, no, no, not here, because that was something. And talk about having to, breathe and get grounded. But she meant well, and I remember Allison and I talking with them backstage saying, we just wish we can come over, grab some coffee, sit on the couch, and just hang out with her and Peter. But yeah, they had stories. They used to do paranormal investigating because Peter being from
Mm.
England, she
Yeah.
got to go, and, when she met him there, they would be a part of a paranormal investigative group and a book. And so, yeah, there were some very interesting stories they used to share.
Thanks for bringing it down, Jax. Jeez.
Well, now we know, because I was
Yeah, no,
wondering.
it's good
I
to
was like,
know.
did
Yeah,
I
because I
say
was wondering
something
too.
to offend Carolyn? But
Yeah, I
now
remember about this a
she's,
couple months ago. Yeah, because you were like, "Oh, have you heard?" I think you had asked me if I had seen her around.
yeah. I'm going to have Elizabeth and Roman be guests on next Tuesday's craft show, and I'm going to see if I can make that. Yeah, so I guess she died in August. Okay, yeah. I know she interpreted a dream that I had and and said it was connected to um, a uh, a murder case in California. But I knew when I was reading the article that no, this isn't it. But she was she was close to other things too. So, but yeah, she was a sweet soul. Bring your noodles and glue. Oh, that kind of project. Okay. Remember the old days when we would glue the noodles and then we would spray paint? I can
Oh
see
my
that.
god.
And Jax was like, I'm sorry, I'm a satellite. I pay attention, but I'm on the outer rim. No worries, girl. It's good to
No,
know.
it's good. It's good. I'm glad we know, but yeah, it sucks.
I'll have to reach out to Peter. I don't know if I have his email. But I'll have to see if I can find when he's on again with Terry. Um, I'm friends with Terry on Facebook, but I really haven't done anything with those ladies in quite some time. So yeah, I'll have to reach out. Oh man. But she I mean she wasn't well, but she had quite the life. She had a lot of stories to tell, and it sounded like a life well lived. And she loved Peter. Those two really loved each other. You can see that. Him taking care of her, making sure she was okay, and yeah. And every time I see Peter, I thought he reminded me of Sir Patrick Stewart. So I would be like, oh, Sir Patrick, and he would get a laugh out of that. So um, let's see. I loved how we were thinking the same things, and we're trying to use our psychic abilities together. Okay. Let's see. I must have missed something, but yeah. Oh, well, anywho. Well, we are at 6:40. I know that you've been tired. You had a long day. Was there anything else you wanted to share with folks? What's going on? I know you said you got a deck that you weren't too thrilled about.
I mean, something I'm thrilled with. I'm not. I haven't really. It's been a weird year
Connect.
for tarot for me, but I haven't really been doing too much tarot. But yeah, no, I got the Kickstarter, the Three Red Moons, Divination of the Dark. I can't really show it because it's a lot of nudity,
Well,
but it's a
as
nice
long as it's not like,
looking deck.
funky, getting it on kind of stuff, like some texts.
No, it's not.
I mean, I show my
No,
feed.
it's tasteful photography type stuff, but
Is that the same one that did the weird one with the veils over the faces that were kind of creepy? The
no, but
insomnia.
the synchronicity. Look what I just pulled.
Yeah.
But no, it's not. It's not the same person at all. But yeah,
What's
I
it
don't know.
called?
I gotta spend some time with it and see. I don't know. I have a problem. I like
Irene says, I like nudity.
yeah, I do too. Um, but
Hi,
um,
Shelby. Good to see you, my dear.
it's weird in decks like where I'm trying to find some pictures that are like almost every card is just person in the middle looking forward. There's like some that aren't like that. But still,
I know that looks kind of cool to me. What's the name of the deck?
uh, Three Red Moons. There's a tarot. This is the Oracle. I had skipped on the tarot originally, and then this came up on Kickstarter a while
Oh, so it's
back.
only a Kickstarter. I'm
No, no,
thinking
no,
like
it's available.
Etsy.
It's if you,
Like Heather needs another deck. Well, why not?
yeah, I'm not going to enable you, but I will. Burning Paper Hearts. If you Google Burning Paper Hearts, burningpaperhearts.com.
Burning
Uh,
paper hearts.
yeah,
Paper. Not people, but paper.
paper hearts.
Burning paper hearts.
Just trying, but like I just have trouble sometimes with decks that are like, okay, you can't see anything. They're nice. The image is nice. I think they're very, uh,
When they're done in a tasteful manner. Yeah.
it's tasteful. It's artistic. It's art. I have no issue with it. It's not porno. I mean, it is pornographic, I guess, in some extent, but not really. But
Oh, Jeff got a community strike for using the nudity deck.
yeah,
I've used my Fyodor Pavlov.
yeah. But that's drawings, and I mean, you just got to be aware of like what you do. But like, I mean,
I
it's
know that looks cool, and that's the Oracle.
yeah. This is the Oracle. So we'll see. I don't know.
To me, that would be cool for like a paranormal reading or something. It has that very ghostly, almost kind of like.
Yeah, I just don't like when there's not a lot. Every card feels very samey in the sense of like person standing there facing forward. I like when the cards can interact with each other, and if you're laying something out, when things are facing each other and things. I like that kind of interactivity
Yeah, I
with
think
my
only that
decks.
happens when trolls start reporting. And I was going to say
Yeah,
something about trolls and not really seeing them really anymore, but
don't
I'm
say that.
knock on wood. Yeah.
Say that. Now you jinxed it.
But I've got my own team here. I got the mangled unicorn, and I've got that fire horse. They'll take care of those. Those if I ever get
Let's see if
any.
I got anything else new.
I know the Folia is being released, and my copy, because it hadn't been released yet. It just got released this week. My copy will be in my pretty little hands, or my pretty little hands, my aging, dry, wrinkly.
Oh God, my hands are so
By
old.
Friday,
Oh,
next Friday. Just kidding. But I do have a mannerism one that's coming in, which will be a beautiful match with my Baroque. And so I'm delving back into my art history and the writing and the story that I'm doing have to do a lot of research into, history as well. So I'm very excited about that. We got you. Awesome. 12/18 is the upcoming. Jeff wasn't feeling good yesterday.
I
I
haven't
went
seen
out
Jeff in
solo.
forever.
Okay. So, but yeah. Anywho. Well,
I've
yeah,
just been so
everyone's
out of YouTube lately. I just really haven't been, at least especially TarotTube. But
yeah, but you're at the computer, day in and day out like Selena, I
yeah,
don't know how that girl does it. 16 hours a day.
I don't know how. I don't know how she works as much as she works, and then goes on YouTube as much as she does. I don't know how she does it.
Mm-hmm.
I
I was
can't.
like, I'll have what she's having, but yeah. A lot of people don't realize she's got some physical things going on too, like some of us. So, she's been having issues with her kidneys, and that's why, and she's been very open with this. So I'm not, sharing anything that's not private. So whenever, we ask for Nancy, Nancy's still recovering. It's going to be a while before I think she may come back. But you know, they got her on the warfarin, to help get that blood clot down, and Selena with her kidneys and having to deal with those issues, and so everybody can just send so much love to all of us that a lot of us don't realize some of the battles and the struggles, that we face on a daily basis. And I was hoping to
Yep.
see Boz or Grimley. I haven't seen
They're
Auntie
sleeping.
hasn't seen them in a while.
They're sleeping.
Yeah, just like mine. See, he's quiet now, has food in his belly.
It's
Shan's out
exactly. I
there
fed them right
next
before
to
I came
daddy.
on. So
Yeah. So
I was like, I'm gonna think here. I'm gonna feed them so they don't distract me.
yeah. And Irene says I'm always exhausted. I'm lucky to get 2 to 3 hours of sleep a day. Oh
Jeez.
God, Irene. I just remember when I was sick that one time and they messed up my meds and I had insomnia for a good month. I went up pretty much almost a full 2 weeks without sleep. And I had to drive Shan back and forth to work. I mean, it was a nightmare. But so yeah,
Yeah.
Insomnia sucks.
Yeah,
So,
it does.
but anywho, we thrive and we strive and we live another day. So, but yeah, coming up on 7, I am going to let Tom go, y'all. He's had a long day, and hopefully, it won't take another 3 or 4 months. And who knows? Maybe we can do a threesome with Allison on a night.
Oh, I know. I know. Also,
Not
my
that
wife.
type of threesome, but like old times. We'll get on and have our conversations like we used to. That would be fun.
It would be
But
fun. Is Allison still here? Because I don't remember if I was curious when we talked about the old man thing. I don't think that was on a show. I would when I saw the man in her room.
oh,
I don't remember
I
if that
don't
was on a
know.
show because I would think I would have gone back to see what I saw.
So
I wonder if
yeah,
it was like post show and we were
maybe.
chatting.
Um, Bill said one of my cousins
Wow.
passed from kidney failure 6, 7 weeks ago. Oh, geez, Bill, I'm sorry. Um, old man, look at
See, you had
my
to get her
life.
going. Yeah, it's like we almost made it. We almost made it.
We don't do the Jaguar bingo anymore because I'm not Jaguar bingo, but Tom made a fun little Jaguar bingo so that I do
Yeah.
certain things like start singing a song or talking about Depeche Mode or
Miss Tara D shows up.
Miss Tara D shows up. Yep, she says I'm here, and she says yes, that would be fun. So after the holidays, probably we'll figure out our
Yeah,
schedules
yeah.
and um,
Or maybe in
maybe look.
between. Maybe that week in between. I'm around. But
Yeah, let me know, girl. You got my number. So you saw a man in my room, but you could not make out a face.
Yeah. Yeah, he was in the back. I remember it was in the back of your room by your dresser.
So was that Tom actually seeing a man in her room, or was that Tom just projecting from his mind that there was a man in her room? See, I'm doing a Tom. See?
I don't know. I don't know.
I beat you to it. Or Allison projected into, no, just kidding. It could be a man.
You're learning. You're learning.
Nah. So, yeah, people sharing their, and Jax lost her dad, back in January
Yeah.
from renal failure.
That's
So,
my mother eventually died of too, basically. So
and he said 80, yeah. But he had a long life. Ooh. Sorry.
boy.
Yeah, he's not feeling good today.
I think I heard a shan squatch in the background. Was that a tree knock?
Yeah. Well, no, that was a
That was a
him
good old growl.
cough. That was actually a cough. And I know that, Irene lost a daughter too a couple of years ago. After Joanna died, I was electrified for months, so you couldn't sleep. Yeah. But we've done enough readings for you, my dear. You know she's around you and she feels you. Yes, exactly. You said he was tall and his body was dark, his clothing, I believe. Wow.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out if it was somebody in your family. You had a thought that it might have been somebody. I don't remember enough about the conversation. It was a while ago.
It was it was a while ago. Oh, hold on a second here. My aunt and uncle stationed in Virginia Beach, excuse me. Whenever he was out to see the whatever that lived there acted out. So when he was out, the whatever acted out bad, and the kids would sleep in my aunt's room. They wake up and all the doors would be unlocked and open. Yeah. Yep. And Isadora was like, that's what I was trying to say. Was that man a projection of our mind? But only if Bigfoot wants to be seen. And Shan has actually seen when he was one of the ones that Bigfoot allowed to see when he was a kid. So, and Shan was friends with the young man who was part of the that famous film, the Gimlin Peterson, the Peterson film, and he actually got to see the cast in person that they made. So yeah, but no, and of course his dad didn't believe him and said, "Go get that water, pals. You'll go get the water for the horses." And then Shan said sometime later, at a different occasion, that his dad was like, "Guess what I saw?" He's like, "Now you believe me."
Yeah.
I had considered that possibly based on what you had described. That was my great-great-grandfather Joseph. That was cool. Watch the paranormal. See, I can't do podcast. I just have enough time to do,
I put podcasts on when I go to bed, so I listen to them all night long in my sleep. But
I was asleep on the couch one afternoon during a summer visit. Everyone was outside. Something ran down the hall loud and stomped to the spot in front of me on the sofa. I curled up more in a ball. Oh, sweetheart. Whoops, under the blanket, because that would keep me safe. That's what I would do. I would let that thing think, and it would grab me, and I would just kind of slightly move, just like I was moving in my sleep and not realizing, but because I didn't want it to know that I knew it was there. So, and Bill says, I don't know why, but I'm still skeptical.
I mean, I'm somewhat skeptical. I think it's a possibility, but I don't know.
My new library card has Bigfoot in it behind it.
He's selling me on Oregon.
No, around here people have really cool stickers. A lot of people, believe, people have seen them. It's kind of like and then when people say no, it was a bear, and there's t-shirts now that say it was not a bear.
I am like
bear does not do what this thing did.
I am a city boy through and through. I hate the outdoors, but I would not that I would ever go camping. Really, I hate camping. I hate it. Ugh, I hate it. I hate bugs. I hate the aloneness. But
Oh, that's the magic of being out in the woods, the aloneness, being one with
I mean,
yourself.
there's a believe me, yeah, I get it, but I also I like knowing that there's people. Um, but I'm fascinated by the idea of Bigfoot for some reason. Fascinated by it.
And yes, I do. There have been some shows that Shan has watched that they talk about just outside of Ashland. And whenever I go to the store and I look up into the mountains, I'm like, hey.
You guys have to go to the Bigfoot museum. That what's his name? Oh God, what the hell's his
Well,
name?
right now my card is, it's finally mine. So I have to make sure that because of all the rust, I have to watch how much I drive her. But
The North American Bigfoot Center. You got to go to that. It's in was it Boring? It's in Boring, so it's close by you, I think.
okay. Let's see. There was another story
It's
up there.
it's the guy from Finding Bigfoot. Oh God, what the hell is his
Oh,
name?
there's been a lot of shows. There was one that they had several seasons, but they had to stop because of the wildfires in Washington. It had Ben Hansen. It had the one other guy. Then there was that female scientist.
Yeah,
There was like four of them, and she was freaking out. She goes because there's clearly a shadow of this creature in front of them, on the rock in front of them, but they're looking and there's nothing. Yeah, is pretty cool. Some of the, and then people coming and saying, Ben being used to be being, with the FBI, had a patrolman tell them, yeah, he goes, I'm just going to share something with you. He said, when they do a lot of training up here with the military and stuff in the woods and the forest, they told them before they get deployed down, you're going to see these things.
yeah.
Yes, they are real. You're not going to engage. You're not going to say anything. You're going to leave them alone. And they're wow. Okay. So yeah, they're quite, aware of their existence. And yeah, I hope they don't find one because could you just imagine what they would do if people, I mean, they already probably have one in the government or whatever, but if people start going, let's grab our guns and go on, you know what I mean? It's just human.
No.
Shan also said he saw a gray when he was younger, a gray. Yeah.
Somebody talked about UFOs earlier, and I meant to talk about it, but I forgot what was brought up. That'll be
I think
another show. We'll talk
Shelby
aliens
left.
another show.
Yeah, Shelby left.
Yeah.
But because we were going to have that conversation too with the connections with star seeds and
I'm not getting into the star
no,
seed.
okay.
I am not getting into that. But
we do have extraterrestrial brothers. I say brothers, but there's brothers, sisters, whatever you want to call them.
Sure you do.
I don't know what to call them. I mean, they're not my, my brother, or my sister, but there are relations, or I don't not relation.
You don't know.
Well, they say the Anunnaki, but again, he's like,
they say.
Lots of different people say. And then there's a lot of people that don't say. You don't say. I do say. But Jax was also sharing that same spirit that they experienced after they had, even after leaving the house, the woman that stayed there actually apparently drove her insane after that family left. Because they probably had one person to themselves and, they were able to, so sorry to hear about that. And I'm open-minded about Bigfoot and aliens. Me too. She's a city girl.
I'm very open. I'm open-minded about Bigfoot, definitely. Aliens, I'm a little bit less so because there's so much. And I think we should do another show on that at some point. But I think there's a lot of. I'm not saying that people aren't seeing things. I'm not saying that people aren't seeing UFOs. Are they alien in nature? I don't know. Are they extraterrestrial? Let me say, are they extraterrestrial? Are they ultra-terrestrial? Are they
but why should we think we're the only ones in the universe? the universe is huge. It's expansive.
Well, exactly. But so why, in a infinite space of infinite time, why do you think that there's other intelligent beings close enough to us at this point in time, at this same place in this infinite
Well,
vast
the arguments are
space?
just, our planet for resources, for what else would people talk about? That there are some that, they're not friendly. They're like, oh, they're all friendly. No, no, they're not. They're not all friendly. But there are ones that, want to help humanity. We may be a part of their ancestors,
Yeah.
that's why they might want to be here to help. But then there's also, just like human nature, there are those that, want to, experiment. I mean, we all hear the experiment stories and things and stuff. So to me, it's just, you know,
I broke Allison's heart.
you hate camping, Tom? Or did I miss something else down here?
No, that's what I'm.
Let's see. Let's see. That
Yeah.
Russian team.
Oh, yeah.
But they kind of started to figure out what happened. What they're thinking is that,
Government.
well, I know about the government, but they're thinking that because of where they were talking about the shelving with the snow, ice, snow, or something, that if there was something that was being done a distance or whatever, it shook the Gimli.
Grimley's here.
Hi, Gimli. Hi, beautiful girl. Maybe now mine will come in because I'm going ooh 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 over another kitty. Hey, Gim. Hi, beautiful. Oh, she looks so silky and
She is.
satiny and well fed and well loved. Aww. Well, yeah, they're thinking that there was some sort of avalanche and the way with the rumbling and stuff and them trying to get out. So there's been a couple of different, but people are thinking that,
Yeah.
the instability of, where they
There's a lot of potential. Yeah. It's a scary story, though, regardless.
My mother's oldest brother claims to have seen many UFOs in the Air Force. Yep.
Yeah.
He was stationed in Labrador in the 60s as a radar OPO.
Doesn't mean it's aliens.
Well, I'm sure we have some of their reverse technology as well. Not all of it, but where do we get it? So again, that's another conversation.
Yeah.
Snakes are a man. I don't know. It was on cable. Snakes. Oh, snakes ate what? No, I don't even want to think about snakes. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, Florida. No, eating gout. No, I don't like snakes. I don't like gators. No, not those kind of. No. Yep, we're going to pass the snakes. It was bad enough I watched a video on Lilith yesterday, and I'm like, oh my God, the snakes. But it was a very interesting, well done video on her. And I had a guy go, surpass the. Oh, and a stingray almost killed my dad when I was a kid. That's what killed Steve
Irwin. Yep.
Yeah. It's so sad, but he died, doing what he loved. Blood everywhere. Oh God.
Well, I'm sure it's horrible.
Yeah, people doing, oh, look at me now with the selfies and this and that. People, you got to smarten up. Like that one woman too who got out of the bus to go take a picture of the lions on that one trip, and one of them came for her. Oh. And they said, get back in here, and someone tried helping her and they were taken too. So humans have got to smarten up. Also Predator, yep. Indiana Jones, nope, he could not. So so many fall taking pics. Yeah, doing just a lot of, but I really have been enjoying the videos of there's this guy, if y'all haven't seen him yet in any sort of shorts on Instagram or Facebook or even here on YouTube. He's this beautiful young man. He's got a guitar and a microphone, and he goes to different places in nature. and plays his guitar and sings, and the animals come up to him. They come, they touch his knee. The elephants come up. Rhinos have come up. I mean, it's just amazing, and there's certain places where he is protected, but others that, dance and listen to his music and give him a kiss while they're playing. Just really, really beautiful. Um, you see those? They're wonderful. He's got like a pink guitar and he sings all these different songs. Melanie Griffith, her mom was into big cats. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people do that. And that's why there's sanctuaries now, because we have to rescue, and especially endangered. I think the Siberian tiger is still on the endangered list. But yeah, I don't know what happened to Tom. So maybe Kitty is doing something. I'm surprised mine didn't come in. Mozzie! But snakes, slugs, worms. See, to me, the worms didn't bother me. It's just, for me, it's got to be a past life thing. I think his name is Plume something, and sometimes wears a big pink feathered wings. I don't know, but I know he's got a pink guitar and he wears a brim cap on his head, and giraffes come up to him. Of course, he's protected the lions. There was one that we saw where the lionesses came and just started rolling around on their backs, exposing their bellies to him while he was playing. I mean, it was just, and the seal, there's this one with the seal, and he was on the opposite side, and he started playing, and the seal just went boom, swam right through the water, slid right up on him, and started going boop, boop, on his face. I mean, it was just, yeah. So, talking about the guy with the guitar. So Gimli got your attention. She said, "Feed me, feed me."
Yep.
So
yeah, I had to go run and go feed her, and
I couldn't get mine to come out. So he obviously, but maybe he knows Shan's not feeling well and he's staying out there with Shan too.
Yeah.
But Mozzie has really bonded with Shan since we moved here. So
it's good.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, Tom, 2 hours in. We didn't think it was going to be this long, but thanks.
We had no idea what the hell we were going to talk about, but we got there.
Yeah, we got there.
And yes, I saw Bill, you mentioned at some point about me coming on. I know I keep telling you yes. So I will come on your show one day. I've been
Bill, it took me 4 months, 4 or 5 months.
I've been super busy with work lately, so hopefully soon I will pop on the 999 show, whichever show you're doing. I don't know, you always change the name. You're always doing something.
Yeah, now it says WJL show. So yeah, like Heather, I'm always changing my name, and I'll probably do it too at some point. I was thinking of combining both channels, but I don't know. I accidentally went over to the other one today, and seeing some of the videos and the people I used to, it just kind of broke my heart. And so I was like, I don't know if I can do this, so I just may leave that channel up, and every now and then just pop on, to keep it up and let YouTube know it's not an abandoned channel.
Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah.
And just stick to, to this one. So,
yeah, I mean, why not? Why just stick here? I mean, you're growing it again. You know.
Well, I left 1,000 subscribers, 1,050 subscribers, but yeah, I needed a break. And
yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You needed a break. So, and I think, look, and I've said this to you in private as well. I mean, I think the move and everything else, I think starting your new channel, everything, you even said it yourself earlier. You said you're a new person. You feel, you're different.
Yeah. And I'm finding my tribe here now very slowly. Yeah. And I'm thinking about, and I shouldn't say I'm thinking about, I'm probably going to follow through with it next year. There is a peer specialist training. It was free in New York. It's not here in Oregon, but I can apply to WorkSource to help me with the tuition, where I can become a licensed peer support specialist. And then that way, going part-time, I can make just so much between us being with Access and with my Social Security to bring in that little extra and to be able to help people, and
Yeah.
maybe bring my artwork into it. So
There you go. Yeah, I mean, that's great. And
we'll
yes, Bill. Yeah,
see.
that would be fun.
And that art show coming up next year, if Alice, not Allison, sorry, Allison, if Erica and I can get that put together, that'll be great too. But funny, I mentioned Allison, I went looking for the library and I was like, where the hell's the damn parking space, because it was very small, so I had to go up around. Like, what the hell's this street? And I looked up at the sign that said Allison. I'm like, oh, there's Allison. There's an Allison and there's a Heather in Ashland. I haven't found the Heather one yet, but I just found the Allison one the other day. So, but Bill says I am starting a call-in show.
Yeah.
So
That'd be
that's
fun.
always another option too. So art videos. Yeah, I'm doing my lives and things, so that'll be a lot of fun. Why can't you post some of the videos you like on this channel? I'm going to try to eventually figure that out. But I've been on for 4 years now, and yeah, there's a lot of nostalgia, and
I mean, it's always going to be there. It's not like it's gone. It's you have it
mhm,
there. You could
mhm,
always go and do a show there if you wanted to, but
yeah,
I don't know.
we'll see how
Sometimes
things.
you need to get rid of the old, and start.
Mhm. Oh boy. So, but yeah, I'm enjoying the process. Some days it's hard, and with me, I get back into my writing, my poetry. I'm working on a novel. I'm going to see if I can stick to this one. Now that I got this nice laptop, there's some other things I want to do. So, yeah, and I'm not like stressed out all the time like I was at the other place. Here, I can relax. I can read my books, and not it's much more peaceful. So, but yeah.
Nobody's threatening your life or
The
banging
only
on
thing
the
that we have to
walls
deal
or
with day in and day out now is that we do have, like they say in Oregon, we do have a, a very large homeless population. And the ones at our
it's
park
everywhere.
are now moving on to our side, where we hear their dogs barking, and they blast their music and they this and that. And so it kind of adds to the stress during the day. But they usually park there at 9 o'clock in the morning. They're till about 5 o'clock in the evening now. So before and after that time is when it gets quieter and you can relax and stuff. So it's take that. I think that's what's taking the adjustment for me is having not being used to seeing all of um, the homeless right there, and you do have to be careful too when you go into the park and stuff. Watch out for dogs, because sometimes you will find an occasional needle or something, and it's very complicated. But it's just something that's taken me a little bit to adjust to. But I was told I will, once I get settled in. So, but there's a lot of wonderful programs. That's why I keep telling Irene, if you can make it here, leave Canada and come here. There's a lot of wonderful programs for people here in Oregon to be able to keep them from, you know, having to go homeless and being able to find an apartment. They house you for a month. They give you the skills and, to help with training or finding work, helping you settle in with, an apartment. There's a lot of wonderful people here, to help those in need. So, but yeah, just wanting to put that out there. Yeah, that's how they spell it here too. Wrong spelling, but that's okay. Um, so anyway, again, I'm going to let Tom go. So thank you, everybody. I keep my virgin off. Have a great weekend. Maybe we'll see you in chat tomorrow when Ginger and I pull cards on the haunted house that Shan grew up in. And until next time, everyone have a great rest of your night and weekend. And thank you again, Tom. It's always a pleasure.